Hi. Businesses are interested in AI tools, but they rightfully have concerns about exposing their proprietary info. If they enter info into a prompt, will someone else be able to see it? That's what I'll be taking you through today. I'm Bill Eastman, and this is the AI for Your Business channel. It's the channel that busy people can come to quickly learn how they can leverage AI. So, questions about data privacy generally fall into several categories. Is my data being stored somewhere? Is the AI provider using my data for their own purposes? If I enter data, can someone else see it? And can I opt out? So today we'll be looking at these questions for 5 AI providers: OpenAI, Google, Microsoft, Meta, and Claude. We'll begin with OpenAI. Here's their privacy policy. If we go into the section Personal Data We Collect, then we see they're definitely going to hold on to whatever you enter into that prompt window. If we move down to how we use personal data, then we see one use of your data is just to respond to future prompts. If you recall the chat history on the left side of the ChatGPT pane, that's what we're talking about. So pretty benign. But the big thing is what they're saying here. They're going to use your data to help train future models. How much that worries you is a personal choice. In the context of model training, your input is mixed in with literally trillions of other words of input. And these models aren't databases, so they don't just retrieve any piece of data from their training set. The more prevalent a piece of data is in the training set, the more likely it can be reproduced by the language model. But otherwise, any facts returned by the model are likely to be hallucinations. But even if model training per se isn't a big concern, there's another reason to be concerned, which we'll come to now. If we move down to disclosure of personal data, we see that OpenAI is sharing your information with vendors. Now, a lot of that is for normal course of business activities, but one aspect which they don't highlight here is that as part of their model training, they actually have vendor employees reviewing your data. So the process isn't clear, but it seems a sample of user inputs and responses are reviewed to improve the model's future performance. OpenAI says the data is anonymized, but it seems if you have enough personal data in your prompt, it's going to be a little difficult to mask. So don't enter anything in there that you don't want there to be a chance of someone else seeing. Now, OpenAI does give you a few ways of not making your data available for training. One of these is known as temporary chats. In the ChatGPT page, just go to the model selection menu, and at the bottom, you'll see temporary chat. Just toggle that, and your prompts won't be used for training. But you won't be able to use or return to those conversations later. To not allow your data to be used for training but still have your conversations, then go to your icon here, then the settings, then the data controls. Here you can improve your models for everyone to off. Seems like they're trying to guilt trip you here. So also, if you've already entered something into ChatGPT that you want to take back, then you can go into the privacy request portal. There, just click on Make a Privacy Request, and it will then ask you if you have an account. Note that you can't use this feature if you haven't set up an OpenAI account. Then you just choose the ChatGPT data removal request and go through the steps you see there. One final note on OpenAI. No data that you enter into their API will be used for training the models. If you recall from our last episode, the API is how you connect OpenAI to your own applications and systems. So let's move on to Google. It's really easy to get lost in Google's privacy documentation because they offer so many services. We're going to focus on their AI product, Gemini. In Google's Transparency Center, they have a tab for Privacy Terms in AI. If you go down that page, you see a link to Gemini App's Privacy Hub. And once you're in there, we can go down to what data is collected and how it's used. We see that Google collects the info you enter in your prompts similarly to OpenAI, and like AI, uses your info for model training. If you have questions about whether anyone can see your data, I refer you to the section how human reviewers improve Google AI. Google takes steps to anonymize your data, but once again, don't be entering any sensitive information. To stop your data from being used for training, go into the Gemini chat app and go over to Activity. Click on that, and then you'll see Gemini Apps Activity. There you can turn off tracking of your chats or even delete the chats you've already had. Honestly, I'm not sure if this eliminates your ability to even look at these former chats yourself. Finally, as with OpenAI, Google, it doesn't appear that if you enter something using the Google API, that's saved for later training. So let's move on to Microsoft. Microsoft is similar to Google in offering a number of services, so its privacy policies go well beyond Copilot. The bottom line is that Microsoft doesn't use your prompts to train models. That makes sense since Microsoft uses OpenAI's models in any case. If you scroll down here, you see that Microsoft does save your Copilot activity, so you can look at your conversation history similarly to how you do in OpenAI or in Gemini. And you can also delete your Copilot activity. Just go into the Microsoft 365 page and select your account. Once you've logged in, you'll see a link for privacy. And at the bottom of that page is a link for Copilot. Click there, and you'll see the option to delete your Copilot activity. All right, on to Meta. Meta also offers a number of services, and obviously its biggest source of info on you is Facebook. So it's tricky finding Meta's AI policies, and they really don't make it easy for you. And you'll see what I mean here in a second. Go to your Facebook page and click on your account icon. Choose Settings and Privacy, and then Privacy Center. That takes you to this page. Here you need to go into Other Policies and Articles, and hidden in there is how Meta uses info for generative AI models and features. That gets us to our destination. So in that page, down in the fine print, we see that Meta does use your info that you enter into a prompt for training, and they hold on to it for an indeterminate period of time. Meta doesn't make it clear that you can opt out of your data being used, but you can do so by clicking on this Learn More and Submit Request here. Here we see some really tiny type, but at the bottom there's a box to click to start the process, which might take a few minutes. So finally, let's look at Anthropic's Claude. In their privacy page, we see Anthropic doesn't use your prompts for training. That's different than with the other model providers, OpenAI, Gemini, and Meta. However, if you do provide feedback on a response from Claude by clicking the thumb up or down icon, then they'll save your conversation for analysis to see what they got right or wrong. But if you still want to delete a chat, you can go into your chat history in Claude, select the chat, then go up here and click delete, and that's it. Okay, that's it for today. I hope now you have a handle on how your data gets used by these companies and how you can opt out. We've covered a lot of information and it gets kind of tangled, so below I've listed all the links to these sites. A good exercise would be to load all of these URLs into ChatGPT, create your own privacy knowledge base. Next episode, we'll be covering prompting basics. The quality of the output you get depends upon the quality of your input. So please subscribe to catch this and other ways to leverage AI in your business. And please leave a like or a comment below. Till then, good luck with your business.